Okay, so luckily I have my phone, and my phone works. My computer, apparently the audio cut out. Fix it later.
Okay.
Technomancers.
Filthy
My bad.
technomancers. Okay, sorry about that. It's not a good way to start, but we'll probably just skip a lot of the getting from point A to point B. That takes up a lot of time in the beginning, but we'll go ahead and go through character introductions just so we know. Sorry, Mike, I didn't hear anything you said after the disguise.
All right.
But it's okay. We'll just assume that I see that you're palming the Savalite Guardian, and you have a disguise on, right?
Yep. And he's sending his fly spies, of which he has 3, which are spoof chipped as weather drones, to scout out the location before he gets there. And the last thing he planned on doing was matrix searching the address.
Okay, sure thing. Yeah, it's not hard to find. It's listed publicly. It is in South Tacoma, in a C-rated zone, and it looks like a fairly typical mod parlor. They do a lot of cosmetics, cosmetic enhancement work, various cyber limb replacements, things of that nature.
All right.
Right. So, if that's everything for Proper Mike, Muse is, well, I made a fashion roll to sort of guess what sort of clothes would be appropriate to people in the area.
Okay,
so
right. Sorry.
Whatever that is.
Sorry about that. Trying to get my head in place.
No worries.
But yeah, sure. This isn't like Barron's trash area. This is more like sort of a normal residential area, commercial area. Probably don't want to wear anything too outlandish, but you probably don't need to be overly formal either.
All right, that's actually kind of bad news, but that's all right. She has an extensive wardrobe, and we'll choose something appropriate to the occasion, and head on over there. Taking Johnny Cab from downtown, so not too far.
Okay,
see.
sure thing.
She's not trying to get there early or anything, so.
Yeah, like I said, since I kind of cut out for like 10 minutes, we're just gonna kind of hand wave all that and say, you all arrive at the speed of plot. But
Yep.
I would just like you to, inform me if there's anything that you specifically wanted to do or wanted to take or leave behind, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no particular illegal gear. So, I'll just say everything on her sheet, tentatively. Probably not any of the armor.
Okay. Perfect. And what does Muse look like?
So she is human. I guess relatively tall, but given the other metatypes, is probably short compared to most runners. Just has an annoyingly photogenic face. Is always wearing something different from day to day, but I don't know. Auburn hair, Caucasian, bluish gray eyes.
Okay. And what is she wearing today?
So what would be appropriate to the area? Who knows? Probably just like something casual, like I don't know, tank top and jeans.
Okay. Yeah, you figure that would probably be okay. All right. Next up, I believe, is Slinger.
All right. Slinger's coming from the Redmond side of Kirkland. His new medium lifestyle house. Yay. All of his restricted gear is stuffed in.
Stuffed in, and then it cuts out.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't hear you at all, man.
Okay.
We heard that part. We heard the okay.
Yeah.
All right, that works too.
And does that get it all covered?
Yep, sounds good to me. Yeah, like I said, we'll have to just work through any technical difficulties on your end. I feel like this is already going to be one of those runs where we're going to be struggling. All right, so let's go ahead and do Kraken.
All right, so what I look like, what I'm coming from.
Yep.
Right, so Kraken is a male human. He's about 30 years old. He looks on the thin side. He's kind of gaunt. He'll be wearing just like regular street clothes, baseball cap. He's got a small pack with him. If you look, you can probably tell he's carrying something. Notable features is on the left side of his face, there's small like pitted marks. If you're familiar with it, it looks like shrapnel wounds. And he's taking his Ford generic car from Renton.
All right. And next up, Tuesday.
Tuesday is human. He is half Japanese and half African American. He's going to wear a synth mask of a fairly generic, handsome black guy, and a smart wig to go with it. He'll take his little carded up by the Echo, I think, and he lives in Tacoma, so short ride.
All right. Perfect. So, like I said, you all arrive at the speed of plot roughly around the same time. I'm assuming no one wanted to get there particularly early. So, you all see each other standing outside. I think roughly 3 of you look fairly normal. Actually, I feel like all 5 of you look pretty normal. None of you are particularly outlandish, but you might recognize someone. Maybe like Muse. I feel like Muse probably has enough street cred.
Muse, I don't know. She has some street cred, some notoriety. Only 6, though.
Well,
She would recognize Slinger, though. Because they work together.
And Mike will recognize Slinger from having worked with him on the last run he was on.
Right, so Slinger brings the team together.
Mike?
All right.
Tuesday is brand spanking new, so I don't know anybody.
Although Slinger
Mike?
probably doesn't recognize Mike because Mike is in a different disguise.
Oh, Mike is in a different disguise. Okay.
And by a different disguise, we mean a different false face.
The power of the false face. All right. So, anyways, you are all.
actually wearing his favorite outfit.
Whoa.
Robo Runner, I don't know what you said.
Anyways, while he's typing that up, let me set the stage for you. You are outside on the street, broad daylight, and in front of you is a mod parlor. I actually didn't think of a name. Does anyone have any clever names for augmentation clinics?
A whole new you.
Right, that's a pretty standard one.
No, but it's... Here, I'll type it out.
Sure, that's the name. A whole new you. Face on, face off. Hey, we're gonna go with the whole new you.
I actually have Face Off on the TV right now, so that's I like that.
Well, all these false faces around here might be more appropriate. But anyways, you see the sign in AR outside on the street. Looks like a fairly small shop front. You can kind of see inside. It's not a dirty place, but it's not particularly upscale. It looks like its client base is more just regular working people, working class Joes. And you can see inside there's a counter, and behind the counter there's a shop clerk of some sort.
I
Anyone have any?
I assume we were given some sort of protocol for approaching them, such as talk.
Yeah,
Say you're
yeah,
here, Mr. Johnson.
yeah. Essentially, the message you got was just, you're expected. Just walk inside. They'll wave you through.
All right. Then in we go.
All right.
Slinger is going to be courteous and hold the door for everyone. Assuming
Kraken
it has
will
a manual
tip
door.
his hat to him then for doing so.
He will raise an eyebrow, but won't try to stop him or anything.
Mike just walks in like he was expecting it.
Okay. And you are all expected. The clerk is a dwarf. Actually, they're standing on a little step stool behind the counter. And she goes, "Hello. You must be the 1 o'clock appointment, right?"
Sounds like it. Yeah.
I do believe we probably are.
All right, perfect. So yeah, you have someone expecting you. I guess you're not really the normal work we do, but anyways, just here. I'll unlock the door. You can go on back. It's the last door on the right. And she presses a button, and you hear a door click, and door off to the left opens up.
Yep.
And then in we go into there, I suppose.
Yep.
If someone wants to do the paranoid thing.
No,
Slinger
I'm
wants
assuming
to
we're
do the
doing
paranoid thing,
assumed
but not.
competence.
He also Slinger wants to do the paranoid thing, but he also wants to do the professional thing.
Okay, if no one wants to make any paranoia checks, I'll just assume that you're all going to the indicated room.
Did my perception successes get anything a minute ago?
You don't notice anything that would be out of the ordinary in a place like this.
I mean, as long as you don't wake up with cranial bombs, I'm okay with just going in the room.
Does my augmented nose detect any sort of explosives, tailored pheromones, or
Okay, sure. You don't smell anything unusual from the dwarf woman. She doesn't have any particular emotions other than sort of normal body odor. You do smell some things. What smells like chemicals coming from the various rooms, but they're not explosives. You would guess they're just more like medical supplies, things for surgery.
I don't need to guess. The olfactory booster will tell me.
Right. Well, like I said, they're not things used for explosives. They're for medical procedures, surgeries, that sort of thing. You do, however, detect a whiff of tailored pheromones coming from the last room on the right.
I will totally be editing those out.
All right, you edit them out. And Slinger, is it terrible to be paranoid? Well, how paranoid?
Is this inappropriate to, check? Is it inappropriate to, check for heat on doors, knock first? The low key but high paranoia stuff.
Well, knocking's just polite.
Knocking is just
Once it's already
polite.
open.
The door is already open. Mike walks in like he owns the place. He was just smelling it on the way through. and getting the general emotional state of all of the people walking with him as well as the people in here.
Hmm.
Yeah, sure thing.
Anybody on the team nervous?
Slinger is, calmly confident, but that professional.
Oh, actually, with the olfactory, Mike will offer DNI to Slinger since you didn't realize it, but Mike did save Slinger's scent. He saved scent of every runner. Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, I did the same
Okay.
thing with Grendel.
But when he'll offer DNI, and it would be DNI offer from Proper Mike.
Okay, I'm assuming that gargled robotic noise is probably Slinger accepting the DNI.
God.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Well, let's see.
Oh, the soft
As
social
Muse
PvP.
eyes him.
So Muse gets the distinct distinct impression that he's pretty damn sure he's cool. Like,
Well, all right.
like
All right, Proper Mike is cool. Proper Mike and Slinger have DNI, excluding everyone else who are not cool. And do you all walk into the room on the right?
Of course.
All
Yep.
right. Perfect. So, in the room, first thing you'll notice is that there are 6 chairs. One of them is occupied by an orc. This orc is wearing tattered jeans and a tattered t-shirt with a large smiley face on it. And he's wearing round frame glasses, which you can assume they have some sort of AR feed on them. And any of you who are looking in AR can see that he has some various AR effects around him, including a rather stylish, well, at least in the 17th century it would have been stylish, wig. And, the rest of his clothing is transformed into something more befitting a 17th century aristocrat, say in France, something like that. And as soon as you approach, he will say, "Welcome. Please take a seat. I've been expecting you."
and Mike is at this point offered DNI to the rest of the runners as well.
I think this is a good point for Muse to. So Zen is listed as inhalation, and I think that means that it is like pot. Can you smoke it? She would like to pull out a Zen cigarette, I guess, joint, and offer it to the Johnson.
No, thank you, my dear. We have
She'll shrug and
business
put it
to
away.
discuss first. Okay, so I'm assuming you all take a seat.
Mhm.
All right,
Very
excellent.
relaxed.
All right. So as soon as you all take a seat, the door behind you will close. And the Johnson will press a button on the wall beside of him, and you detect the distinct sound of a white noise generator being, the fuzz of a white noise generator being turned on. And any of you who have active wireless devices, you realize that you are now cut off from the Matrix.
Like noise-wise or Faraday cage?
Like Faraday cage.
All right.
Essentially, the room is now a Faraday cage. All right. Hold on, Mike. Are you making those all GM rolls to me?
Sure am.
All right. Hold on. How do I do whisper rolls?
You can't whisper a roll to a player. Only players can whisper rolls to you. But you can GM roll stuff and let me know. I trust you, Aaron.
All right. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to figure this out.
And I'm betting that Slinger has just blown it because this is, not supposed to be a job where showing off is good, but oh well, Slinger would do it.
Okay, Mike, you find, you do see that he's running wirelessly, his comlink is. The only things that he has slaved to it would be his glasses, and also running wirelessly he has, let's see, that is it for now. That's all you see at the moment.
I'm sorry, Slinger. If you are running something silent, you probably should make that test. If anybody's running anything silent, Mike did make a Matrix perception, but I GM rolled it.
No, well, and you specifically said you were looking at the Johnson.
And for hidden icons.
Okay, yeah. Boy, I bring a fresh car gen techno. First thing I do is I shove him into a Faraday cage. But yes, if you are running silently and you don't wish to be spotted, you can go ahead and roll your matrix, your roll to resist matrix perception, which would be your sleaze plus intuition.
Logic plus sleaze.
Sorry, logic plus sleaze, my bad.
Okay.
Okay. So you do spot Slinger running his Himitsu in silent mode.
With all his wear slaved to it because, well,
That's not really shocking to Mike, though.
no. The fact that he picked up, a way to run silent was an improvement,
It sure was.
You learned something from Mike.
Ooh, wow.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Hold on, Muse. I need to check my handy dandy GM cheat sheet.
And how did you make it roll like that? Because that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
You put double square brackets around the thing instead of doing slash roll. So whatever you would put after the slash roll, you put it in double square brackets instead. There's some GMs that don't like it, but I like it because it's more compact. That's spammy.
And you can always mouse over to see what all the different things were.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here it is. I found the sensing table. All right. So
Muse has a list of Slingers, of Slingers'
Where?
various wear.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you wouldn't notice is the data jack.
Essence hole rating 5. Interesting.
sensing table.
Yep.
Right. So. Oh my God! The audio came back on my computer.
Sounds like an intercom.
So
All right,
I
Walmart
don't have the
shoppers.
sensing chart on top of me, but I'm.
I found it. So, Mike, on you, she would have found anything that is not betaware, a betaware grade.
Or BioWare, correct?
She does spot
BioWare is-
BioWare.
One higher, I think.
I thought BioWare was 4 successes.
Oh wait, sorry. Yes, you're right. It's BioWare and betaware cyber on 4 hits. So 3 hits, she only sees alpha cyber implants and lower.
Right. So you noted no implants.
Okay, so to save time, I'm not really worried about the specifics of I'm just throwing it out there as a thing that she did, so that if it becomes relevant later, whether she had certain information or not, then we can address that. I feel like 90% of the things that you find are never possibly going to be relevant, and the 10% that are like a very low chance of actually coming up.
No, that's fine. But if you do ask me for something, I will do my best to describe it. Also, you find out that Tuesday is a technomancer.
I'm interested. Yeah. Yep. That's true.
So you probably make note of that.
Yeah.
Yes, the Johnson. So you get 4 hits. You notice quite a bit of augmentation. Now, do I actually have to tell you? Oh, I just tell you the presence and location of implants. Good. You notice that his head, in particular, his skull region, has quite a number of implants, probably the heaviest concentration. You do detect some what appear to be wires running throughout his body. And other than that, that would be it. In his head, he does appear to have quite a bit of BioWare and cyberware.
Okay. Right. Good to know. For later.
Okay.
Right. So back past all of the things that happened at the speed of thought.
So, welcome. I hope that this does not alarm you. I'm merely taking precautions. I'm sure you understand.
Of course.
Now,
I like precautions in our mutual interest.
I'm glad to see that we are of the same persuasion in these matters. Now, I have assembled you here for a small task. Difficult task, to be sure, but that is why I have selected individuals of such a caliber as yours. Now, I'm assuming that since you are all here, you will agree to the task.
That depends on the task.
And the payment.
Okay, well, we shall do this in the standard fashion, and I will give you vague details first, as well as the amount that I'm willing to pay. Then you shall tell me if you are interested, and then we will proceed from there. Now, the job itself is fairly simple. I need a certain individual. I need you to bring him to me, and moreover, I need this to be done in a seamless fashion. I will only need him for a matter of hours at most, and in that matter of hours, I wish his absence, to go unnoticed.
See, and what sort of situation does this individual live in?
Well, I will tell you that he is a member of the UCAS military. But further details, I will wait for your agreement. Now, I do understand that this will not be an easy task to accomplish, especially in the manner in which that I have asked you to do. But I will be willing to pay you each 25,000 new yen for satisfactory completion of the task at hand.
Do you have some indication that there is some hole in his general schedule that allows for such an opportunity?
While I do not have the information myself, I do know that the target in question is a rather busy man, and he is of sufficiently high rank that not all of his time will be shall we say, full with military matters.
So he's an officer or an NCO?
Officer, I will tell you that much.
And what is your time frame for completion of this?
Of course, our target will be leaving Seattle for a small conference in 2 weeks' time. That would be the end of 2 weeks, so you will have 14 days. And I will need him before then.
Right. And you need him for how long more precisely?
I would say that I would really only need him for, say, 3, maybe 4 hours.
Is it 3 hours or is it 4 hours?
We'll say 4 hours, but 3 might be sufficient.
Alright. And does this person live on base or on UCAS military property somewhere in the city?
My sources point to him living somewhere on the base.
And I understand you might not want to tell us which base, but what level of security base are we talking? Are we talking that he lives in the officers' quarters on Fort Lewis?
Well, I will allow that much, yes.
This is quite a test that you're asking for 25,000 million. I would not say that your task is impossible, as there's very rarely such thing as an impossible task, but you are asking for quite a bit, and being rather vague on the details, I understand until we agree. It's proper protocol, but you understand that at first glance, this payment does seem rather neglectful. Although I myself am willing to hear the full details of the plan, of the job. I cannot speak directly for the rest of my teammates, or possible teammates.
Yeah. Military is another. It's military is just it's like a step above stuff that I usually do, and 25 grand, not really. So.
Okay. Are you going to negotiate? Or are you backing out of the run?
That's my negotiation, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you mix and match. I will let you mix and match dice pools wherever you want.
I'll probably assist him. I think he probably has more dice than I have. I don't know. He also said a lot more.
Okay.
You would not.
Oh, also, Mike, go ahead and knock your 3 dice off for your tailored pheromones whenever you make your roll.
Okay.
He also has an olfactory booster.
Alright. Was anybody else going to chime in? I don't think so, so I'll go ahead and I will, of course, edge that,
Okay.
like you do. That's not the most impressive negotiation I've done, but what do you do when there's no tailored pheromones around?
Yeah. Oh, I should have. Never mind. Too late now.
Huzzah!
All right. So you got 5 net hits, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the Johnson will smile at what you have said, and he will say, "Very well. You do have a point, and I understand that for runners of your caliber, 25,000 is perhaps a bit unseemly.
Particularly
How about
with no upfront operating budget for a operation of this scale.
very well, very well. I understand. How is this then? 30,000 new yen upon completion of the job. And I will also provide you with something of an operating budget, if you will. Now, I cannot actually give you this as upfront payment, but should you need some sort of equipment, I can likely provide it to you.
As long as we can contact you when we need to.
Of course, I will give you a burner com link where you can reach me. The essentially, this is out of character now. Essentially, what he will do is he will allow you to purchase some mission-sensitive equipment through him. For example, burner sins, if you need like a disposable car or something like that. And we'll limit it to 20,000 new yen total. Well, actually, 25,000. We'll do 5,000 per runner.
All right.
Sounds fine. Should cover the hospital bill.
So, who exactly is this fine person that you wish for us to have a unremembered adventure?
Of course. Now, I'm assuming that you all do accept.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Excellent. So, the man in question is one James Howe, and I will type that out for you. Or should I say, Colonel James Howe? Although, my sources indicate that he will soon be promoted.
Oh.
And, as I said, he is a member of the UCAS military, a ranking officer. My sources are not nearly as talented as you, but I will be happy to answer any questions that I can.
How much of his schedule do you know?
Well, I do not have access to his personal itinerary, but I do know that a man of his stature would likely have someone that would keep such details.
And I assume you don't need him conscious when he comes to you.
Truthfully, it does not matter, just alive.
Well, obviously. And we need to be the ones to reinsert him, because that brings complications in and of itself.
Don't worry, I will handle that aspect. I just need you to bring him to me, make sure that his absence is not noticed while he is gone, and then I will take care of the rest.
Sounds like making him not be noticed is either a matter of having him preoccupied with something else or having someone in his place, both of which could be done, but in the latter case, it might be, well, we would have to organize to get him back there so that we can get our plant out, if that makes sense.
Yes, we would definitely need to know more precisely how you plan on reinserting him, even if you wish to handle it, so that we can make sure that he is not missed, but also that two of him don't show up at the same time.
Exactly.
While I understand your concern, I'm afraid that those are beyond the mission parameters that I've assigned to you. As I said, leave those details to me.
I'm sorry, but extraction of our own assets is within our mission parameters.
Very well. At the end of the window of time that I've allotted you, James Howe will be produced back at the location where he will be expected. There might be, of course, some minor confusion about what just happened, but I trust that he will clear up these matters and continue on with his normal schedule, as it were. If you wish, you can inform me when you have extracted him, and I will let you know when he is being delivered back, hopefully with ample time for you to make your extraction.
Excellent. Not saying
Sounds
that
good.
it's necessarily the route that we are going to go, but I would like to know that if that is our route, we aren't leaving somebody high and dry.
Perfectly understandable.
Out of character, because Mike might also be the one who goes in.
Mhm.
Lieutenant Colonel Mike? Wait, no. Colonel Mike.
Maybe Colonel, yeah. Colonel James. Or Colonel Mike? Oh, I see what you're saying. Never mind.
I think he'd be a right proper colonel, much better than the ones from Kentucky.
Wow. Wow.
And I will give you some time to talk about this, see if you have any more questions.
Right. So he's giving us a comm link. Mike would mention something in character of before they leave. We might ask more questions before we leave, but before they leave, Mike would mention something along the lines of course, if we have further questions for you, I assume we can reach you at the same comm link, sort of thing.
Of course.
Yeah. Is it here that you wanted us to bring him? I'm sorry, I might have dozed off for a second there.
He will give you a location where he wants you to bring him. It will be also in Tacoma, but it will be along the coast.
All right.
All right. And yeah. So the fun thing about Fort Lewis is it's still a city, but it's also a military base. So it's like being on extraterritorial lands, but even civilians can go onto it, except for the specifically restricted areas, at least in Shadowrun.
Okay.
I mean, there's a reason they have something like a zoological garden on the thing. Like,
Okay, so
Yeah, I
it's
wondered
kind of
about
like
that.
it's kind of like Bragg. Got it.
like civilians can totally come and go onto the base. There are, of course, checkpoints, but there are businesses within it that are privately owned. It's just there aren't police. There's MPs.
Which MPs are dicks.
Funny, because I took the UCAS military skill on my other guy, but not this one. So I built them.
Yeah,
UCAS
you-
military background.
Yep, and you picked a veteran for a military-themed run. How's that going?
Excellent. You can correct me whenever I do something wrong.
Do you actually want me to correct you when I do something wrong, or would you like me to just mention real life does it differently?
Yeah, it'd be more like that.
Yeah. So you have, the option of going with something more real life or what you came up with, because correcting GMs is a bad thing.
There's also a little bit of a disconnect because the military in the Shadow is a bit different than the real life military.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because nations are different than what you would think of as nations.
Yes, and trying to wrap my head around how they think the military that they organized for Shadowrun would actually work. Hey, the TOE.
Well, anyways, like I said, you can definitely suggest things to me if you think the military would run a certain way, but I will reserve final say.
Obviously, you are the GM. Well, you don't have final say. That's TD. But we won't.
This is true.
No one from TD is on this run. We're okay.
No, I know. I'm just.
Found that at the hard way.
They could be
Right
watching
at
the
her.
stream, though. So we should pay attention to the comments in the stream in case someone
Yes,
from TD is
they
watching.
very much
Oh, you're roboting on us, James.
It's a very fun roboting. He like started slowing down too. It's like someone hit the off button.
Like I said, he's the robo runner. I'm pretty sure that every time he robots out, it's because his software is rebooting.
He has a broken voice modulator. But anyways, back to the run real quick. Do you have any more questions, or are you guys ready to conclude your business here and get planning?
It's a Q27 voice modulator.
No, I do believe that we probably have concluded our business with the Johnson for the time being. As I said, we haven't come.
What did I miss?
We will totally contact him if we have more questions. But I believe that we need to be outside of a Faraday cage doing some legwork here.
I definitely agree. So,
Okay.
let's get on that.
And Mike will totally stand and offer his hand to the Johnson with the whole. Of course, we will be in touch, not only for the run completion, but if we need equipment or have other questions for you.
Of course, I will be available. And he will also stand up and shake your hand. And as you make your way to leave, he will push another button on the wall, and the door will open, and the Faraday cage effect will end, giving you all access to the Matrix again.
Sweet. I don't use computers very much anyway, so I don't really notice.
No, I do believe that we have a couple of technically inclined individuals on our team for a reason.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, let's get them somewhere they can lie down, I guess.
And
You know, you
on,
can leave this around here.
on that note, as we are all leaving the facility, Mike will forward an address over the D9 to all of the individuals as a proper place where we can get to the planning stages.
So is someone driving me, or should I take a cab?
Mike will totally offer you a ride. He has an American car.
Thanks.
Does anyone not have an Americar who came here?
I don't have an Americar.
Mike also has a Suzuki Mirage parked nearby, but that's beside the point.
Wait, did Mike actually learn how to drive?
He sure did. He knows how to drive planes, boats, and automobiles.
Man, last time I GM'd Mike, he couldn't even ride his bike.
Have you looked at his sheet recently, Aaron?
Yeah, I try not to. It's kind of depressing.
He has 32 active skill.
Yeah.
Only 32?
Yeah, I haven't. I've been focusing on other things, like knowledge skills. I have like 22 knowledge skills.
That's pretty good.
And 7 languages, because you never know.
Mhm.
Well, Slinger's at 22 active skills already, so
Like I said, Mike has been focusing on other things.
yeah, I'm just amused that Slinger has that many, because I didn't realize I was getting that up there.
You've been on a lot of runs recently, too.
I mean, the more
Well,
skills,
so-
the better. That was like shit last night.
Yep. Slinger is considering a laser. You know, once he finishes learning how to use his sniper rifle right.
All right, I'm going to cut in and redirect this back to the task at hand.
Right, I
Yep.
believe we were going to take a quick break so that somebody could break their roommate out of.
Yeah.
Sorry, their room.
Break the
All right.
roommate in.